Well, we're back here contemplating whether DreamWorks even knows what they're doing right now. And today we're talking about Trolls Band Together, because they just recently dropped a trailer, and I got a few issues about it. Number one, it's September. Why are you dropping this trailer 2 months before the movie releases? There's barely any people that know this movie exists. Number two, it reveals a lot. And this is a problem I've seen with another movie that is released earlier this year, being Gillman Teenage Kraken, and I'm a little worried that Trolls Band Together might get the axe just like Gillman, and it could be really bad. So, I want to talk about this today. Will Trolls Band Together suffer the same fate as Gillman Teenage Kraken? Because there are plenty of movies coming out in November, like The Marvels, and Wish, and I think a new Hunger Games movie. So there's a lot more options to go see, and obviously Trolls Band Together already is a gut punch for its appeal, because I know plenty of people that are skipping out on this. There were a lot of people, let's just say it was Kung Fu Panda or Puss in Boots, most people would go show up. And even though this is an established franchise, it's an established franchise that not many people like. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Is this movie gonna flop? Is it gonna do okay? Or will it even do good? My answer to that is it's very up in the air and it's very tippy territory, and I've been noticing a pattern. Universal has been treating DreamWorks like garbage. And when I mean garbage, I mean garbage. No way have I seen an animation studio get this kicked to the curb before by a studio. With Gillman Teenage Kraken, they did the movie so dirty, with releasing the first trailer only a few months before the movie came out, and then the final trailer like a month before it comes out. Not a lot of people know about this movie's existence. I'm still seeing people come to me and say, wait, Gillman Teenage Kraken was a movie that came out? And I'm just sitting here like, this is the marketing team's fault. And unfortunately, regarding for Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I still stand by it. I really liked the movie, but it was in a tough spot against Avatar: The Way of Water. And if it wasn't for the outcry of how great this movie was, I don't think this movie might have done so well. It had a pretty disappointing opening weekend. I mean, it was going across one of the biggest anticipated sequels ever, and I feel like it would have maybe been another Ruby Gillman if it wasn't for the outcry. And I've been noticing, number one, this has already happened. The latest few DreamWorks movies that have released in theaters before this have just done okay. And these are already established franchises. You have Boss Baby Family Business. While also dropped on Peacock the same day, it really only pulled in a measly $100 million against the last movie's $500 million. I still don't know how that movie made so much. We already know what movie deserved $500 million, maybe even $1 billion for this movie. But putting that aside, it also, same goes for Trolls World Tour. Well, also, this also being put on the side because of the pandemic, even when it released in some parts of the world, it didn't do well. And there were movies that released in theaters during the pandemic that did pretty well, like Tenet. That's really the only movie I remember coming out in 2020 that did so well, besides Sonic the Hedgehog. And then moving on to Crude's A New Age, that movie also did okay comparing to the first movie's box office. So it's a little worrisome being on where Trolls Band Together is being placed, and how the franchise itself isn't widely appealed. I really don't see that many people hyped for the movie. There is a select few, and I respect you if you like the franchise. I've watched the first movie. It's alright movie. The second one I wasn't too fond of, and this third one just looks okay. It just looks, you've seen it multiple times. I'm gonna see it anyway. I'm probably gonna be like the one out of like 8 people on opening day, because that's what I had to deal with Ruby Gillman, unfortunately. And honestly, I'm kind of worrisome that this might be a flop. Universal isn't really promoting this movie. The only thing I've seen heavily promoted about the movie is that a song group is coming back for this movie. I really hope that that's not the only reason that people are gonna go see this movie, because I don't think that's gonna help, unless there's like a Taylor Swift cameo or something. I really don't think that's gonna help it, and there's been barely any marketing. And all the marketing I have seen was outside of the US. I haven't seen anything. There's Twitter accounts that I follow, or X, that have had marketing outside the US, but I haven't seen anything. And that really hurts it. And I don't see many people going to go see the movie, and it might end up being a flop. And that'll be the kick to DreamWorks that this was a bad year. I don't think this is going to be a good year for DreamWorks at all. I mean, Kung Fu Panda 4 is releasing next year. That I'm not worried about. That's going to do fine. It's in a month that's a tad bit crowded, but when I ask people what's their most anticipated DreamWorks movie right now, it's Kung Fu Panda 4. I know everyone's gonna go show up for that. Even if Aquafina is a wolf in this movie, they're still gonna go see it. It's just, everyone's very much hyped for that movie. But to all my Trolls fans, how do you guys feel about this? Do you think Trolls Band Together is gonna make it? Isn't gonna even survive against all these other movies releasing? And how do you feel about how Universal is treating DreamWorks compared to Illumination? They're putting Illumination on a pedestal. Obviously, the Mario movie brought in tons of money, so I know they have respect for Illumination. But they even did the same for Migration, a brand new original, that if this somehow really does do well, it'll kind of be the signal that, alright, we'll prioritize Illumination over DreamWorks. We saw the very beginning of this when they got rid of the classic Shrek ride at Universal for a crappy Minions ride. We already saw the pattern, and with this, I do feel like it's pretty one-sided with their animation studios. And regarding DreamWorks, I know they're going to promote the hell out of Kung Fu Panda 4, and which we do get a Shrek 5, well we are. They're also going to do the same for that. But with their lesser-known franchises, unfortunately, I don't see Ruby Gillman returning in a new movie. We may get a show, and that show would have to do incredibly well for even DreamWorks to even think to make a sequel. But unfortunately, DreamWorks is in a pretty bad spot this year. I really hope... I'm not praying on Trolls Band Together's downfall. If that movie does good, that's amazing. Thank you. Because we won't have to worry about this. But based on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from a bunch of people, this isn't going to end well. And especially for the trailer, giving away a lot of the plot, you basically have no reason to really go see this. It'll be on digital in like 4 weeks. And for Ruby Gillman, it didn't even last a month. It was on digital really quickly. So I'm a little worried. So what do you guys think? Do you think Trolls Band Together will do well? Do you think are you even gonna see it, honestly? And how do you feel about how Universal's been putting DreamWorks to the curb, even though Puss in Boots was a really relative success, but putting Ruby Gillman on the back burner and also just disrespecting this movie by dropping a trailer that reveals anything? Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.